Fearless Disease.
Morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for rocking with me. It's Fearless Disease. Today, if you're hiding on a rock and you haven't heard what's going on with Trump and this Honduran ex-president, pay attention. Trump he frees a Honduran ex-president, Juan Orlando Hernandez. A 45-year-old drug trafficking sentence is straight gone. Right after a silent pause post-guard shooting. This is what they have to say.
Let's go live outside the White House to CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes. Good to have you with us, Nancy. So, has the administration answered any of the questions about what makes Hernandez different from Maduro?
They have taken questions about it. I don't know that we've gotten a full explanation yet, Reed. What they're essentially saying is that Hernandez was somehow set up by the Biden administration, over-prosecuted. They haven't quite explained why they feel that way, and that he was someone who was merely the leader of Honduras while drugs were coming from Honduras to the U.S. And basically, happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, essentially, and that he didn't have much to do with it. Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, was asked about this yesterday. Take a listen to what she had to say.
The president several days ago said it was his intention to pardon the former president of Honduras, who was a convicted drug trafficker. And yesterday on Air Force One, the president said that if someone sells drugs in that country, that doesn't mean you arrest the president and put him in jail for the rest of his life. How is that different than what the administration is accusing Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro of?
You're cherry picking the president's statement.
See, they are cherry picking. It's always funny how a lot of press conferences, when they let them through the doors, because what Trump has done, especially when they come inside the White House, he's very fair. He's not going to just bring in people that are on the left or on the right. He's very fair. So it's always funny that you can hear the questions, and they're always trying to cherry pick certain things to make the administration look just horrible. I'm a fair guy. Of course, I'm on one side, closer to one side than the other, but I believe in being fair. So if you're going to be honest and you want to come into the not the Oval Office, but actually into the press conferences and ask questions, be intelligent about it. Because that was a cherry picker. That was a horrible question. Very horrible question.
Statement a little bit yesterday, as he also said yesterday, the people of Honduras have highlighted to him how the former president Hernandez was set up. This was a clear Biden over prosecution. He was the president of this country. He was in the opposition party. He was opposed to the values of the previous administration, and they charged him because he was president of Honduras.
Which makes sense. Makes a lot of sense, correct? Which some people would think that it's kind of like a pardon for a corporation and cartel kind of conspiracies. It depends. Everybody would have their own type of opinion, but I don't think so. I personally don't think so. Let me know in the comments what you think. I do not think that at all.
So the bottom line here is that whatever the reason, Reed, Honduras has been released from a West Virginia prison now, according to his lawyer, after serving about 1 year of a 45-year sentence.
We are also watching for other headlines we expect to come out of that cabinet meeting today. Of course, Russia, Mr. Putin, Caribbean boat strikes. What else are you looking for?
Well, one thing to know about these cabinet meetings is that they are not short. I think the last one that I covered was about 3 hours long, because the president tends to make an opening statement, talk about how great the country is doing, and then he goes around the table to all of his cabinet level officials, and there's about 16 of them, and then they lay out what they have been doing in their department. They praise the president effusively and say that they wouldn't be able to do it without him. And then often, I guess I should say always, the president tends to take questions from the press. And as you point out, there are a lot of topics to ask him about, from the conversations taking place in Moscow today between Steve Witkoff and Vladimir Putin, and this controversy that seems to be growing by the hour about these Venezuelan boat strikes. So the reporters in the room will be doing their best to ask the president about all of this at the end of that meeting.
Nancy Cordes, always great to talk to you. Thank you.
Of course they will. Of course they will. That's why I go to this certain news. You already see it on the screen, because I want to be able to see both sides. You can't just watch Fox. You can't just watch CNN. You can't just watch CBS. You have to be able to bounce through and get opinions from a lot of people sometimes, not to absorb them, but to actually hear them. There's a difference. There's a difference between absorbing and actually hearing out. You can't just be blinded to the other side. You have to see what's going on. Some people call it actually learning from and learning and watching your enemy. Not to say they're enemies, but you want to be able to see every single side, because you don't know what they're thinking. And sometimes you don't understand why they do certain things, but you want to see from their perspective of why they think that way, why they feel that way. So hearing them, of course, starts with a C. You already saw it. They're on the side that Trump may be making a mistake right now. Of course, letting a 45 year drug trafficking sentence just disappear like that. And some people will say that it's like a pardon for being cooperative for the United States administration. Maybe not. Let's do a little bit of these comments. We hate drugs smugglers, except this one. That's kind of fair. It can't seem like a pardon, so I can't really be mad at that. Everybody has their own opinions. Don't forget to put your comments in there. I want to see your opinions as well. Let's read a few more. The Trump regime has no moral compass. No moral compass. Like I say, I see both sides. I'm not saying that I play both sides, but I see both sides of the party, and I can see why they think that way. But there's always things that are beyond our grasp as far as citizens. Those are most people that watch us, of course. We're just observers. So we don't know 100% of the story, but they try to give us at least half of it. But we only can be able to do commentary on what we know. So they feel like he has no moral compass, because we don't know what the other parameters of his sentence just being evaporated. We don't know that at all. We just speculate. Let's see. Let's get another one in here. Hypocrisy administration. Same way. That's why I say I want to read these comments, and I want to be able to show both sides. A lot of negativity, especially when it comes to the CBS's and CNNs when it comes to Trump. But let me guys. Well, no. You tell me in the comments what you think. Was this dumb? Should they do something like this? Pardons for kings, paying for pawns. Just in the comments, drop pardon if you see a scam. Let me know, or when in the comments if you think this was a good move by the Trump administration. But appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys on the next one.